Good morning, everybody, and Happy New Year for 2023. And today, I'm going to discuss about some case law in copyright litigation. It's very new one in October 2022 concerning a liberal and conservative justice seems split into Supreme Court, landmark and the Warhol copyright case, and not in a way you may think. The case is expected to have major ramifications for the future of creative freedoms. Article were written by Sarah Casson. And here is the pictures imitation. The shifting silk screen in Andy Warhol print series based on Lynn Goldsmith photograph of the musician are subject to copyright law should be inherited by the U.S. Supreme Court, courtesy of the Supreme Court of the United States. For close to hours yesterday, the U.S. Supreme Court heard oral argument in photographer Lynn Goldsmith lawsuit against the Andy Warhol Foundation over the late pop artist used her 1981 portrait of musician Prince in a series of 16 screen prints in 1984. A stay in the future of both copyright and creative freedom, with both sides making impassioned cases during the debate. Roman Martina of the firm Latham and Watkins, which is representing the Warhol Foundation, argued that Andy Warhol transformed the purpose and character of Goldsmith's original image, taken in and imbued it in new meaning and message, one of the four factors in determining fair use under Copyright Act. A ruling for Goldsmith could have dramatic spillover consequences, not just for the print series, but for all sorts of work of modern art that incorporate pre-existing image and use pre-existing image as the raw material in generating completely new creative expression by follow on artist Martino said. Lynn Goldsmith 1981 photo of Prince were basis for Andy Warhol screen print, courtesy of court filing. Goldsmith lawyers Lisa Chavio-Bart of QUYtylN and Connolly filed back that test would decimate the art of photography by destroying the incentive to create the art in the first place. She warned that copyright will be the mercy of copycat, and what anyone could then create an unlicensed spin-off subsequent to an existing work. The dispute started in 2017 after Goldsmith spotted Warhol orange prints on the cover of special Vanity Fair use, memorizing the recent deceased musician. The magazine had paid her $400 in 1984 to license her previously unpublished print photograph shot in 1981 on assignment for Newsweek to create Warhol illustration. In the new publication, Goldsmith wasn't credited as the photographer, and unlike Warhol Foundation, which charged the magazine $100,000 fee for the image, she wasn't paid. When she reached out to the foundation, it responded with the preemptive lawsuit asking the court to declare Warhol portrait fair use. Goldsmith responded in kind. Andy Warhol Prince CA 1984, the artwork based on the Lynn Goldsmith photo and Second Circuit rule is were not fair use. The Andy Warhol Foundation for the Visual Basics, INC British Rights Society, New York. The Supreme Court currently reviewed 2021 ruling from the Second Circuit Court of Appeal in favor of Goldsmith, which had overturned the New York federal judge finding in 2019 that Warhol prints series was fair use. The 2019 judge found that Warhol has transformed Goldsmith's original portrait, which represented a vulnerable, uncomfortable person, into an iconic, larger-than-life figure. But the Court of Appeal countered that a judge should not assume the role of art critic or try to pin down a work meaning. Both works serve the same purpose as depiction of Prince, so Warhol pieces wasn't transformative. Goldsmith's case also argued that to be fair use, you have to justify the copying, not just explaining why your work is a creative addition to the work or creative addition. Platt said. The question being considered by the Supreme Court is fairly narrow. Whether or not changing the source material meaning make work transformative and thus fair use. Moreover, it is the place of a court to try to access to work meaning. And is that meaning just based on artist's original intention? Or how is it perceived by audience? And the Warhol print portrait overlay on top of the original Goldsmith photograph of the musician and reproduced in a court document. There is no real dispute in this case that the meaning of the message of the two works were different. Martin said in a hearing, the only real question in this case is whether that's different matter. In making the decision, the court had two major precedents to consider. Its ruling in 1994, case Campbell versus Acupro Music, and 2021 Google LLC versus Oracle America. There were also a lot of references separately to how famous Campbell soup can work. Both cases were found to be fair use. The former for Two Light Crew, Faraday of Roy Robinson, Pretty Woman. The latter for the Google use of 11,330 lines of Cambodia, bought from Java in an Android operating system. Newly appointed Justice Kentanji Brown Jackson were concerned that while Foundation argument conflated a work message or meaning with its purpose, did the two prints image share the same purpose? That is to present a depiction of Prince, or did the meaning behind two portraits change that purpose? Martin argued that it did, and that photorealistic portrait like Goldsmith and an illustration like Warhol were not interchangeable and would not be used in the same type of application. He pointed to the title of artist for which the Warhol illustration were original commission purpose form. The 1994 Vanity Fair article and reproduced in court document. It is perfectly natural to illustrate that article that you would want a Warhol type work that had its meaning or message. Picture of Prince that show him as the exemplar of sort of dehumanizing effect of celebrity culture in America, he said. This was an argument that seemed to sway Chief Justice John Roberts, who mused that you don't say, oh, here to picture of Prince. You say, that's a picture of Prince. And this is a work of art sending a message about modern society. But Justice Sonia Sotomayor noticed that it was hard to see how the Warhol portrait didn't complete with Goldsmith. They both share photographs to magazine. Justice Elena Kagan were also more skeptical, wondering if Warhol fame and instantly identifiable mark it's easier to ascribe a new message to his work. If you image Andy Warhol as struggling young artist who we didn't know anything about, and then you look at me to image, she said, you might be tempted to say something like, well, I don't get it. Or he did what take somebody else's photograph and put some color into it. But I agree, noting that fame is not a ticket to trample other artists' copyright. Martin's culture that ruling in favor of foundation of will actually help emerging artists who want to create new, innovative work that integrated pre-existing image and that limiting the scope of fair use will shield the creation of new art by established and up-and-coming artists alike. He asked the court to consider whether Warhol Prince's image represents a kind of transformative view that copyright law are intended to foster, which is really encourage follow-on artists to use creativity to kind of introduce new ideas into the public domain. To Andy Warhol Prince portrait courtesy of court document. Justice Army Cornell Barrett asked whether the question of fair use for Prince series would differ if the work has hung in a museum rather than being reproduced in a magazine. Goldsmith doesn't compete in that market. I don't see how any museum can display this. Plus allow. What is not protected is just the commercial licensing. These were concessions that might hurt Goldsmith's case. Museum. So I did Warhol because he was a transformative artist, because he took a bunch of photographs and he made the meaning something completely different, Kagan point out. But the decision may ultimately hinge on the fact that the Warhol Foundation licensed the image to reproduce a Vanity Fair. Campbell soup seemed to be an easy case. The purpose of the use of Andy Warhol was not to sell tomato soup in the market. It will induce a reaction from viewers in the museum or other setting. Justice may go said. The difficulty of this case is that this particular image is being used arguably, maybe for the same purpose, to identify an individual in a magazine. The debate meandered over the course to close 2 hours, touching on such wide range references of Lord of the Ring, All in the Family, and the Mona Lisa. At one point, Justice Clarence Thomas even revealed that she was a Prince fan in 18, prompting laughter in the courtroom. The decision from the court is expected sometime in the coming month. So, thank you very much about this case and this very difficult case to get away. And we have around many discussion going on. Discussion. I think, wow. If you like art, and then you will see anything you read about. So, thank you again. So welcome to Oswald Art Music. Thank you. And if you have any question, please let me know and I will go to for answer.